I really hope my energy is going to be here today for you guys. It's been kind of a supremely awful, rough day, and I really want to get this filming done, so I'm going to try my darndest to have the energy and pep for you. But if you notice a little something's off in the next 5 videos, sorry. I'm trying for you, okay? Let's go. Welcome back to Every Disney Movie Ever. My name is Jess and I'm watching Every Disney Movie Ever. Today I'm going to be talking about Togo. Togo is a 2019 Disney Plus original release about the 1925 diphtheria antitoxin run in Alaska with sled dogs. It is directed and filmed by Ericson Core, editing by Martin Pensa, music by Mark Isham, and it's written by Tom Flynn. The film stars Willem Dafoe as Leonard, Julianna Nicholson as Constance, and Diesel the dog as Togo. In 2015, it was announced that they would be making a movie about the famous run. In 2018, it was announced that Ericson Core was coming on to direct and that it would be a straight to Disney Plus release. They filmed from September 21st, 2018 to February 2019, and they filmed in Alberta, Canada mostly. Most of the dogs were from the Snowy Owl Sled Dog Tours Inc., and Mackie and Hugo were Diesel's stunt doubles for certain things, and Diesel, the main dog that played Togo, is actually a direct descendant of Togo, 14 generations down. DNEG, Lola VFX, Soho, and Kosa VFX all did the visual effects for the film. It was released on December 20th, 2019, so like a month after Disney Plus launched, and it was removed from Disney Plus in 2024, which it's a Disney Plus original, so it being removed, I feel like is genuinely, like, what the hell is that? So pardon my language. It has a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes consensus, an endearing and exciting underdog story that benefits greatly from its stars, canine and human alike. Togo is a timeless tale, well told. Believe it or not, this is relatively faithful to the true story. It's based on a true story. Leonard Seppala did the majority of this diphtheria antitoxin run because he was like the guy, right? And there's 2 moments that I guess were like incredibly accurate and faithful, which was Togo escaping his second home by breaking a window, and then Togo pulling the sled out of Norton Sound, which is insane. By the way, that's just bananas that's the accurate part. Inaccuracies include Seppala's daughter. They had a daughter, just not included in the film. That seems weird, but okay. It doesn't show Leonard's reaction to Balto getting the credit. In real life, he was actually quite miffed that Balto got all the credit. Togo also technically wasn't always the solo lead dog. He did sometimes have a co-lead, which was his half-brother Fritz. And then the other, and this is the most, the major inaccuracy, which is Togo spent retirement in Poland, Maine with a different person, not Leonard, so he could spend his golden years enjoying life and everything. And Leonard did say Togo was probably the best dog he had ever had, and then also he would go visit Togo pretty often, and he was there when Togo was euthanized. This is a beautifully effective film. I really think Ericson Core did something here. It's a great story. The acting is fantastic. It's a great artistic vision. It's just really, really effective. This might be the best part of the movie. This movie is stunning. It is so beautiful. And I think that is because the director was the cinematographer, and I feel like anytime you're going to have a director that's also the cinematographer, the movie's going to be gorgeous, because my guess is he's a cinematographer first that started directing, and so normally the cinematographer comes out a little bit more than the director. It is a beautiful film, even in the stuff that's close and inside. It's gorgeously lit, really warm and beautiful, but obviously this movie shines because of its landscape shots, and if those are all visual effects, bravo, kudos. The sound looks insane and so intense, and that's obviously VFX because they're not going to put them through that. But I loved some of the shot choices here. I really specifically loved when Togo was a puppy trying to escape the little barn, and they used POV cameras to like look around, and like you were Togo, and I really loved that choice. Sometimes a POV camera is like really out of place and feels weird, but it was like seamless. The only reason I noticed it was because I was like, oh wait, this is a POV, that's fantastic. So I just really loved the choices here. This movie balances everything so well. You have this whole intro that's really intense. It gets the movie started right away about this diphtheria outbreak and what are they going to do to get the antitoxin and all this kind of stuff, and then it immediately cuts to like Togo's origin story, and the balance between watching him pull off this feat of going through this storm with these dogs to go get this antitoxin, while also learning about like where Togo came from and the love like hate relationship that started and then became, was so well balanced. Like that was really well balanced. I never felt like we spent too long in one place. It always felt like a nice breath when we went back to the past, and always felt right to come back to the present. And I would say the best scene editing wise in this movie is when they're cutting across the sound the second time, when all the ice has broken up and they are like gonna be SOL. That scene is so intense, so suspenseful, edge of your seat, what the heck are they gonna do? It is so well edited that you are like, and if you're feeling that way in a movie, it's completely owed to the editor. Gorgeous opening music, and then it just continues throughout. Intense when it needs to be, perfectly delicate when it needs to be, so emotional when it needs to be. I never felt like the music was telling me what to feel. It always felt like the music was encapsulating and like helping me feel what I was feeling. So perfect. This is based on the true story of the town of Nome, Alaska having a diphtheria outbreak in 1925, and a renowned, I guess, somewhat, sled dog breeder and professional named Leonard Seppala, who agreed to go through an insane storm to get the diphtheria antitoxin that was necessary to help all the children and the people of the town that had diphtheria. And then in that, the governor had decided to make it a relay instead of risking just one person, but Leonard had already left. So I guess there were 9 different teams, sled dog teams, you know, like a person in their sled dog team. The other 9 teams did an average of 31 miles. Seppala and his team in Togo did 264 miles. So it is not close. And the last team, which was a runner that worked for Seppala, is my understanding from the movie, I actually have no idea if that's accurate, took like another team of sled dogs that Seppala owns, and they did the final leg, and the lead dog of that team was Balto. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of Balto. Balto's a very famous story. There's a freaking movie about Balto. Balto actually only did the last leg of the run and got the antitoxin to Nome. But again, Togo did 264 miles of it, which is insane. This movie, breathtaking. It's so well written. Like, it was so nice to have something this well written. The scene in the beginning between Leonard and his wife Constance talking about him going or not going and the toll it would take on him and Togo, because Togo's 12, and like that whole scene is so good. The dialogue was so delicious. It was just like, oh, because Constance, you know, she's talking about how she doesn't want him to go, and Leonard is like, the people in the hospital are the children of our friends. We know these people. I can't not go and look these people in the face. Like, of course, but, like, you know, I haven't made up my mind, but also at the same time, like, and she, you know, she says, something about, like, tomorrow we will be ashamed, but I'm sorry, right now I'm afraid. You know, saying, like, she wants to be selfish, and tell him to stay, and tell them to keep Togo there, and all of that, and she's like, I know tomorrow, like, we'll be ashamed, because, like, we've all been there, we've all been, like, thinking a selfish thought, and the next day be like, that was really shitty, like, God, I keep swearing, my word. But it's just this scene is so real, and so good, and so well written, I literally couldn't believe it. It's such a strong opening, and then from there, we flash back here and there to the love-hate relationship that was Seppala and Togo in the beginning. He thought he was the runt, he didn't want to keep him, and then Constance is like, no, please, he'll have the heart of survivor, and then he's a nightmare puppy, he won't listen, he's untrainable, all he does is escape from places, this, that, and the other, and then finally, like, eventually in all these flashbacks, Seppala sees the fire in him, and how fast he is, and how good of a lead dog he could be, and all ultimately showing us that, like, you know, he was underestimated and then becomes, like, the greatest dog Seppala could have. And the story is just so sweet. You know, he tries to give up Togo twice. Togo comes back home. Well, one, the guy just comes and returns him. The other one, Togo breaks out of a window to get back home. Like, it's just so good. And then on top of it, the story is brutal, because if you're like I don't like when the dog dies people, this one's a little bit of a gray area for me, I think, because I also don't like when the dog dies in movies. But this one's a little bit of gray area. I do hate that, like, for the majority of the present day stuff, people keep telling him he's killing the dog by doing this run, because Togo's 12 years old. And so they keep being like, the dog is dying, you're pushing him, this is his final race, he won't come back home, like, XYZ, XYZ. And, in the movie, he does make it back home, and he lives for 2 more years, but he was already 12, so then he lives till 14 when he has to be, you know, he dies, because he's 14. So it is, like, a natural, like, it's not, like, a tragic death because he was run to death, right? For those who might be nervous about it. This is so great, though. Like, also earlier in the movie when she's like, don't take Togo, take, you know, Fritz, or somebody else to be your lead dog, because if you do this run with him, these might be my last hours with him. And then Leonard says, if I do this run without him, these might be your last hours with me. Like, oh my God, it's so good. And it's just like, of course I cried. Come on, I cried when Leonard, you know, when Leonard says, I've run him to death and I'm not prepared. Like, that, I was a mess. So good. The movie is just honestly excellent. And at the end in the credits, they show a picture of the real Leonard with Togo. I was a mess. Oh my gosh. Willem holds this movie down. How incredible is he? I mean, we already know how incredible he is. It's Willem Dafoe. Are we kidding? But it was wonderful to see him in a role like this. How amazing. I can't sing his praises enough. And then Julianna, also incredible. So well done. And then I really think we have to say, this dog is freaking stunning. My God, what a beautiful animal. It's ridiculous. My favorite part is the fact that he did live after the run, and he lived for 2 more years to sire puppies. That's fantastic. My least favorite part is that he had to get old and die. That's just rude. Would I recommend this? Absolutely. This is a very good movie. Would I watch it again? That's another question. I did watch this when it premiered on Disney+. I actually think I watched it with my mom here in this house. And I remember enjoying it. And then the part that I, remember the most is the crossing of the sound. That was, etched in my brain permanently because it's so intense. I didn't really remember anything else. So watching it again would be hard because it's it's not as bad as all these other movies where the dog dies or whatever, but, it's a very, realistic, obviously when he gets 14, he's old, right? They don't show it, which is great. That's awesome. So, like, it's hard to watch on that front, but it is a very good movie. So, like, if someone wanted to watch this, I would not say no. That being said, I feel like I didn't remember it being this good. Does that make, like, I don't know if that makes sense. I remember enjoying it when I saw it, but I don't think, like, it really resonated. Like, it's a very well-made movie. It is stunning, and it's a very good film. That's everything I have for Togo. My final rating is going to be 9. I feel like I have to do Huskies, right? 9 Huskies out of 10. Our total movie count is... Our cry count is... Parental is still the same. If you want to keep up with what movie I'm watching when, follow me on all socials and check out my website. It's really cool. Please go look at it. It's fun. Okay? Okay. Join Patreon. Got a tier starting at just $1. You get every video a week early. Tiers above that, daily trivia, monthly postcards, bonus content, etc. There's some fun bonus content going on over there, so really go check it out. Buy merch. Merch is great. Merch is great. Look at it. It's so pretty. Come on. Until next time, comment, like, subscribe, and I'm not in charge of your life. You are, so do you, and don't be... That's a toughie. I'm gonna say the reporter that gave Balto all the credit. Time magazine named Togo one of, like, the most heroic animal of all time or something like that. Cool. Cool.